Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. Today is Friday, March 12th, and I am back for my stitching update. It has been 2 weeks since my last one, so I hope you have all been well. If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. This is a video podcast about cross-stitching and sometimes quilting. However, if you are not interested in seeing or hearing about the quilts, I show those in the second half of my video, and I let you know in plenty of time that they'll be making their appearance, so that way you can go on to the next Flosstube video. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. So I hope you guys have had a great 2 weeks since the last time we sat down to have a chat. As you can see, I've changed out the winter tree for spring Easter tree. And I do have some Easter decor that I've kind of placed throughout the house. I don't have a whole lot. That's another one of those holidays where every year I think, okay, you know, the Easter stuff, spring stuff's gonna start making its appearance. Maybe should meander over to Michael's, Hobby Lobby, and see what we can find. And then I wait for whatever reason. By the time I finally do make it over there, a lot of the Easter stuff's already gone. I went to Hobby Lobby on Monday to search for some ornaments for my tree, and they didn't really have a whole lot left. I probably should have maybe shopped in the beginning of February, but February was just, it was a yucky month. Anyway, so in my last video, I talked about the yucky ice storm that we had, and the weather made a complete about face. It's been beautiful the last couple of days. Today it's supposed to be 60 degrees, blue sky. It's just absolutely gorgeous. The flowers are starting to bloom, or the early spring bulb flowers are starting to bloom. The birds are back, they're chirping and building their nests, and it's just, I'm looking forward to spring getting here. And even though I don't like to weed my flower beds, I'm looking forward to working in my flower beds, getting them worked up so that when we are past, you know, when it will frost, then I can start planting some new plants to replace the ones that I lost over the winter and then lost because of the ice storm. So this year, the big project outside will be to completely redo one of the flower beds. It's a flower bed that's, I always take a picture like off the back porch, and there's always the tree, and then the tree has the long branch, and that flower bed that's underneath that branch is the one that we're going to redo this year. And I haven't quite decided what plants yet, but I'm trying to be better about placement and paying attention to when things grow and blooming and all of that. So I'm excited to get that, you know, going and you know, yeah, I'm looking forward to all of it, even though it's dirty, sweaty work and I hate weeding. But I'm looking forward to kind of redoing things and seeing the flowers bloom, and just I'm hoping that we have a really nice summer. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to that. But also, one thing I wanted to mention, so in my last video, when I don't know if I was in the beginning or if it was like towards the middle of it, I paused the video because my brother Matthew, who is an owner-operator truck driver, had went by and he blew his jakes. And a lot of you guys were sad that, you know, you wanted to hear it. You wanted to hear him like blow his jakes. And I paused it. So I have to explain why I paused it. My brother and I have this friendly competition, and it started years ago. He's been an owner-operator for a long time, at least probably 10 years. He's been one for quite a while. And he has a Peterbilt, and I think it's like a 95 Peterbilt, but it's like the old style. And so it's very easy to like spot him in the wild. So what would happen is, you know, going out and about our day, occasionally we would run into each other like on the freeway, stuck in traffic, or, you know, in Salem or up in town, stuck at the light, him on one side, me on the other. And so we would always like, you know, back and forth, you know, oh, I see you, there you are, I see you, peekaboo. So one day we got to talking, and we were kind of laughing because I had taken my friend Janine up to the airport in the morning, and traffic was really slow on the freeway, and traffic was slow in both directions. And we ended up like he was going south and I was going north, and we like saw each other and just like this random place. So we were laughing about it and talking, and then somehow we got on the topic of this. It was this trucker movie that came out long time ago. I want to say it was called Dooley, but I don't think that is. I remember like bits and pieces of this movie, and basically what had happened is it's this carload of kids. They do something to this truck driver, and he basically follows them everywhere and wreaks havoc. And every time he finds them, he always says candy cane on the CB. So we were joking that whenever we see each other, we should say candy cane. In fact, my brother's name on my phone, instead of it saying Matthew, it says candy cane. Anyway, I realize this is not about cross stitching, but I'll get to it in just a second. I have to explain why I paused the video. Anyway, so whenever we would run into each other, whoever saw the other one would send a text message in shouty capitals, candy cane. So we've been doing that for many years now. I'm ahead, which he says is unfair because while he has a semi truck that I can easily spot, I don't. I have a gray car that blends in with every other gray car in Oregon. So he told me that I need to get a car that stands out so that he can see me. I honestly don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, I'm winning. So anyway, so he told me that my next car has to be something that really stands out, something bright. I'm thinking like a 1970 Chevelle. He's thinking of some bright orange car. Anyway, so the reason why I paused the video was because as soon as I heard him flip his jakes on, I grabbed the phone and immediately shot him a text message saying candy cane, so I could be the first one to say it. And so that's why. But I promise next time, if I do hear him go by, I promise I will just let it play through, and then he can just candy cane me back. So anyway, that is why I paused the video. It was just a friendly competition, and I'm just determined to be the winner because I'm the older sister. So over the last 2 weeks, I have watched a couple of brand new Flosstubers. The first one is Lisa, who is Prims on Greenway, and I have been following Lisa on Instagram for a while now. I love everything that she posts. She is just such a sweet, wonderful person, and I so enjoyed her first Flosstube video. She does have a second one out that I saw popped up this morning, and I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I am looking forward to it. The next one is Catherine Adrian, and it's Stitching in Costume, although her channel, the YouTube channel name is Catherine Adrian. I was able to watch her first Flosstube video, and she's lovely. I enjoyed sitting down and hearing about, getting to know her. And both ladies, lovely, and I will make sure to put a link to both of their channels down below, but I highly recommend them, so go check them out. So I thought what I would do is I'll show Freddie before I get any farther into my video because I forgot to last time, and I did not mean to. I meant to reach down and grab him right there, right at the end of the video. He was sleeping right on my foot, and I just completely forgot. I don't know what I was thinking, but thought I would show his very cute new haircut. He went in on Tuesday and he got nice and cleaned up. He was very uneven, and the haircut that he had got, what was it, like 6 weeks ago, it was not a good haircut. And so we were able to find a new groomer. We like this one a whole lot better because instead of it being a room full of, dogs and people grooming, it's just her and him. He still was very nervous, but she was able to give him a nice haircut. She was able to kind of fix what had been done and just kind of give us a nice new base on him. So now his hair is going to grow out a little bit. It won't be much longer than what you see, just because the longer it gets, the harder it is to maintain, and he'll get mats and all of that. And so I kind of like him being a little bit shorter. His face is going to grow out a little bit more. She had to even up his ears because one ear was way longer than the other one. And on the side of his face, the previous groomer had shaved it completely and left this side really long. And so she was able to go in and fix it and kind of even it up. So Yes, I was very, very happy. And I think Freddie is a lot happier too. So let's talk about what I have been working on the last couple of weeks. So the first thing is Plum Street Samplers Liberty's Welcome. I started this on January 1st as my New Year, New Start, and I'm stitching it with Yvette. I'm stitching this on a piece of 36 count Heritage by Picture This Plus with the called for DMC Threads 1/2. And I love it. So last night I was able to finish the top row, and now I have dropped down into the bottom section of the sampler. I think it's page 5, and this page has a little bit of the house on it. And then the next page is like full coverage house, full coverage lawn, and that one's gonna take me a while. But I absolutely love how this is turning out. I really am hoping that I might have it finished by summer. I just don't know. It's gonna depend on how long it takes me to get through that house, because it's a lot of stitching. These are the DMC threads that I am using, and I love them. They're very beautiful, very, very beautiful. I do know that I have changed the house colors, and I want to say it's DMC 648, but I cannot remember, and I did not grab it. It's not like bobbinated or anything yet. I just have it thrown in the project bag. So I will know next time. Next up is Feast of Friendship by Blackbird Designs. This was originally a stitch along that was started by Lori Holt of BMI Bonnet and Christy at Crosshatch Quilts. And I can't remember what the hashtag is. And I still think the hashtag, you can still use it, because the last time I talked to Christy, I think I asked her. And I can't remember what the hashtag is. I can never remember what it is, but I'll scroll it down below. So I was able to pick this one back up again. This is also stitched on a piece of 36 count Heritage with the called for threads, or with some of the called for threads and some that I substituted. However, the ones that were substituted, I substituted the same color palette. I just didn't have what was called for. And I have enjoyed working on this over the past couple of weeks. It is so beautiful, and I hope that I can get it finished, and then that way I'll have time to either get it framed or frame it myself in time for fall this year. And then, oh, hang on a second. This is the color palette that I am using for Feast of Friendship. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful color palette. And then my morning stitch, I started it last Monday, is Project Quarantine by Brenda Gervais of With Thy Needle and Thread. It's been kind of slow progress because I, 2 of the days I worked on binding a quilt in the morning. So this is as far as I've gotten, I think over 6 days. I am stitching it with some of the called for threads and then some that I did substitute. So it's kind of a mixture of DMC and Gentle Arts, Weeks, and Classic Colorworks. Just kind of whatever I had in my stash. And I have had to darken up a few things, like the scissors were a gray on the chart, and I had to make mine, I think this is Blackbird, because it just was not standing out on the fabric. So once I get that one done, that will be a pillow small that will go, hopefully go in the trench bowl, which still continues to be naked, over on the shelf that's across the room. I forgot to mention that Project Quarantine is being stitched on a piece of 36 count Summer Khaki that I tea coffee dyed 1/2. I need to get used to saying that. I always get asked, am I stitching things 2/2, 1/2, and I keep forgetting to say, and I need to get better about that. Next up is Olga's Autumn Stocking by Plum Street Sampler. I started this at the end of September of last year, and I'm stitching it with Yvette. And I'm happy to say that I am down to the very last pumpkin and the toe of the stocking. And I'm so, so excited. And I've also decided, because in my last video I said I wasn't sure if I was going to put whiskers in Olga, and I decided that she needed her whiskers. So once I get the pumpkin done, then I'll buzz up there and I'll give her some whiskers. but I am so excited. I cannot wait to have this finished. I'm stitching this on a piece of 36 count vintage pearl barley with the called for everything. And I love it. I just love it. I cannot wait to have her displayed around the house this autumn. I'm just looking forward to it so much. Anyway, so I don't know that she'll be done because we only work on our Olgas on Wednesdays, and so I can't imagine that I would get her finished. I think it's going to take a couple of Wednesdays, but I'm okay. I'm enjoying the process, and I don't want to just speed through it really quick to get it finished. I want to be able to enjoy every single stitch. So these are the threads that I am using for Olga. So beautiful. I just love this color palette so much. So that is hopefully, because I've had to pause this video a couple of times and I've had to redo part of it a couple of times. I hope that I've showed everything. I have this fear that later on tonight when I'm editing this video that there's going to be parts that are missing. This video is not going very well. And I think it's because I know I have clients coming to drop off and pick up, and that's all I can think about. And you know, then of course you start worrying about, oh, it's getting later in the day, because now it is almost 3 o'clock. So I've been at this video for like an hour and 20 minutes. And some videos go really well, and other videos, they are a struggle. So that is what I've been working on over the past couple of weeks. However, I am going to be making a change in the way that I do my stitching. I was talking, well, on Monday, I was watching, Monday morning when I was stitching, I was watching Stash Sisters, where she does a video tour of Tanya Bruckmeyer's the Scarlet House, her home. And so she went in, she kind of did like a tour and then an interview, and it was back in October of 2019. So, and the Yvette's been after me for probably 6 months to watch this video, and I finally sat down, and because I always put everything in my queue, and so it finally popped up, and I was, you know, I'm supposed to be stitching, and instead I'm watching it and all of the delicious eye candy. So anyway, they were going through her house, and the first thing they show the stuff that she worked on before she became a designer. And then there was like another room that they went into. I don't know if that was her sewing room or her stitching room, but it was where she had all of the reproduction samplers that she's bought. Some of them she's turned into reproduction samplers, and then other ones are going to be at some point. So I was watching it, and I was looking at all of her reproduction samplers, and Anne Priest pops up on the screen. And I started Anne Priest on my birthday, and I tried to work her into my stitching rotation, and it just didn't happen. So I paused the video, and I snapped a picture of Anne Priest, and I sent it to Yvette. And Yvette told me that we have to find some way to get Anne Priest back into my stitching rotation. So later on that day, we sort of powwowed a little bit, and she kind of helped me rework my rotation, which I really felt like it needed, because it was getting a little bit stagnant, and I was getting to the point where I was either going to have to set everything down and pull brand new projects, or I was going to start to lose interest. And I didn't want to lose interest in anything that I was stitching. I wanted to still be able to continue and enjoy everything. So we kind of like went back and forth, and then finally came up with a solution. And the solution will allow me to still continue to stitch everything that I am, but will allow me to stitch on some other stuff too. So the progress on everything will slow down a little bit, but I'll have a little bit more variety. And I'll also have a variety to show in my videos as well. So anyway, going forward, instead of looking at my stitching rotation in terms of a 2-week period, I'm going to look at it in terms of the entire month. So that way I will always, like every 3 days, I will cycle through something. So like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll work on something. Wednesday will be for Olga, Thursday, Friday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday will be a, you know, something, and then it just kind of rotates. So I'll constantly be working on, you know, I'll have a 3-month day or three days on one project, and then I rotate to Olga, and then 3 days on another project, rotate to another 3 days, and then so on and so forth. So hopefully that makes sense. I think it's going to work for me. I think it's going to be just what it's going to be. I think it's the breath of fresh air that I need, because I was getting a little bit, you know, I needed a little bit of like change. Anyway, so I hope that makes sense. Anyway, so I sat down and I, you know, wrote out everything. And so I will be bringing Autumn at Heartland Hollow back this next week. So I need to go pull the colors for it. And I'm very, very happy about that, because I kind of felt bad about setting this aside, even though I knew it was going to be for color changes on the grass. I still kind of felt sad that it was going to, you know, have to hang out until I finished Feast of Friendship. So in the new rotation, I'll be able to work on both. So that makes me very, very happy. So I need to go pull fabrics for that. I am stitching Autumn at Heartland Hollow on 40 count vintage country mocha with DMC. And then I will also be able to work on Anne Priest. So this makes me very, very happy, because I really, really, really wanted to be able to work on her. I love her. I love that house. I love everything about this sampler. And I really do want to work on her. I love her. So I am stitching her on a piece of 36 count Seraphim fabric. I think it's in caramel. I have it written down, and what happened was right before I did this video, I went and grabbed both of these. So they're not pressed, they're not, they look like, this one is pretty wrinkly. It's been hanging out for a little while. So I just went and I grabbed them really, really quick, and I left the little tag in its project bag. So both of those will make their way back into my rotation this coming week. These are the threads that I am stitching Anne Priest with, and I'm going to be stitching it 1/2, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait, because I think I stitch on her Monday through Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of next week. So I'm looking forward to this very, very much. And I will also be changing the name. So here it says Anne Priest and then Claybrook School. So it says Anne Priest and Claybrook School. And I'm going to change this and stitch this for my paternal great-grandparents. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, so I have my next month all plotted out in my book, and I am looking forward to getting to all of that. And I'm also very happy that I will have a nice little variety to show you guys next time. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clean this all off, because I have to talk about the giveaway winners. So in my last video, I had a giveaway to celebrate 9,000 subscribers, which I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate all of you guys who happened upon my channel and decided to hit the subscribe button so that you could come back and see what I do every 2 weeks. I appreciate it so, so much. The giveaway was 2 project bags. So I was giving, I would pull 2 winners, and those winners are Cindy Gaudette and Angela Olert. So if you ladies can get a hold of me via email, pumpkinhollowquilting@gmail.com, and send me your address, I will get those out in the mail to you next week. I will also do my best to comment on your comment as well. So thank you so much for playing. I enjoyed reading through everybody's comments. It's amazing how similar we all are. The question that I asked was, what other YouTube videos do you watch besides Flosstube? And if you only watch Flosstube, what were you working on? And I really did enjoy reading through everybody's comments. And again, thank you so much for playing. I intended to have a giveaway for this video, but unfortunately, I did not get my act together in time. So hopefully in my next video, I will. Hi guys, so I had to, I forgot something, and I remembered when I was putting all of the, when I was putting everything away from filming my video has been filmed. It's currently uploading very slowly. And I was putting things away, and I realized I forgot to show you my finish that I had this past week. And I had already taken a picture of it earlier in the day, and I thought, well, nobody will even notice if it comes up as a picture. Nobody's even going to notice, and I'll just do it in 2 weeks when I come back. But the more I thought about it, I thought, nah, I'll just go ahead and just insert it. Hopefully this is after I've showed everything that I have been working on. I thought I'll just really quickly, I'll record it, I'll show it, and then that way you can see the tree. This is my original spot that I used to film in. This is the family room. I already have my quilt hung. I showed this, well, I haven't shown this yet, but I will be showing this in the quilting part. But I thought I'll just come out here, I'll just really quickly film a video, show you what I've been working on, show you the tree that I keep forgetting to show you, and show you my finish. So this is Sally Spencer by Birds of a Feather. I stitched this back in 2019, and it's just been hanging out for the past, year and a half, waiting for me to find a frame. I kind of looked everywhere for a frame, didn't really have any luck, and thought maybe I was gonna have to send it off to be framed. But then I just happened to be on Amazon, and I thought, I had such great luck finding a frame for Parson Brown and my little Addie Sutton sampler that I thought I'll just plug in the dimensions that I'm looking for and see what pops up. And this one popped up. And it's the perfect size, it's the perfect color. I wanted it to be red to just kind of help that red pop up from the sampler. So eventually my plan is to have a sampler wall, and this will be one of what I hope will be many samplers on that wall. But in the meantime, it will hang right here. So this is Baby It's Cold Outside. This was actually hanging there, but since I had to refilm the video, I ran out really quick, grabbed it, stuck it on the wall so you wouldn't see this big blank spot. But this Sally Spencer will be hanging right here as soon as I'm done filming this little video. Anyway, I stitched Sally Spencer on a piece of 32 count vintage country mocha with all of the called for everything, and I absolutely love her. She's so beautiful, and I'm so glad that I was able to stitch her. Anyway, so that's all I had to share. I'm pretty positive that at some point in the video I expressed the fact that this video is a little bit of a mess today. Anyway, so now back to the rest of my video. So I did get a little bit of happy mail over the past couple of weeks. So what happened is during the ice storm, I had these 2 Etsy orders that had come in, and then we had lost power. And I had sent them, both of the ladies, a message letting them know what was going on, and that, I was hopeful based on, what, the electric company was telling us, is that our power was supposed to come back on in like a couple of days. And then of course it stretched on and on and on. So I had these 2 orders, and I felt awful that I couldn't mail these out. I mean, the post offices were closed because we had no power. So what I ended up doing was I discovered that in Silverton they had power and that the post office was open. So I grabbed both of their orders, sent them a little something extra as an apology because I felt awful, and I sent their bags to them. Well, both of them so kindly sent me something as a thank you, which was completely unnecessary, but it was so sweet, and it was totally unexpected. So Darlene, she sent me this beautiful thank you card. And I love your note inside the card, Darlene. And then she sent me a little bit extra to help with shipping of giveaways. So thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. And again, it was totally unnecessary, but thank you. And then from Linnell, she sent me this, which I don't know. Let me see here. Try to get it so that you can see it. It is this little thread ring, and it's Easter. So it's got like a little bunny, and it's got this little bead, and then a carrot, and it's absolutely beautiful. And it came very unexpectedly, and I opened it up, and I could not believe it. I've seen these on like the Facebook group, but it came from 2 charming chicks. And on the back it said, a gift from Linnell. So thank you so much. It was so sweet of you. It was so sweet of you both. Just thank you so much. And I'm glad that you love your bags, and it makes me so happy that they made it to your homes. And again, I'm so sorry for the delay. I try to, whenever I put bags in the shop, I always, as soon as the orders come in, I try to get them out as quick as possible. This is the first time anything like that ever happened, and I felt awful because there was literally nothing I could do. And then a few days ago, I received a package from Patty, and she sent me this adorable card. And she sent me these charts that she thought I might be interested in, and I love this. One of these days I plan on making like a hand applique. I should say I have a hand applique quilt in process. It's the Autumn Love quilt by Lori Holt. But one of these days I plan on doing like a Baltimore album or one of those. That's one of the ones that is, I know it's going to be like years down the road, but I love Baltimore album quilts, and so this reminds me of a Baltimore album. And then she sent me these two charts by Paula Vaughn, Memories of Christmas and Friendship Bouquet. So thank you so much, Patty. It was so sweet of you to think of me. Well, as far as all of the cross stitching goes, that is all I have to share in this video. I do have some quilting that I want to talk about. So if you're not interested in seeing that, this is a great stopping off point. However, if you want to see what I have been working on quilting wise, stay tuned. I apologize if this little section of the video is rushed. You wouldn't believe it. I've been at this video for an hour and a half, almost 2 hours now, and I can just feel like the pressure. I know my clients are going to come, and I know that my family is anxious to be able to like move about the house. Anyway, so I'm going to show my quilting next, and if you're not interested in that, I will see you in 2 weeks. Otherwise, stick around. So quilting wise, the past couple of weeks ended up being a little bit busier than I anticipated. I ended up working on client quilts, and then I also ended up working on it was the Secret Santa Sew Along by Temecula, and that took me a little bit longer than I anticipated. So I think in my last video I said my plan was to work on the Temecula quilt, get it done, and then work on the Forevermore block of the month and the Temecula album block of the month. And I was not able to quite get all of that accomplished. I did work on the Temecula album quilt. This is the 4th month. Yes, it is the 4th month. And I was able to get these 3 blocks finished. The other 2, I have them cut out and ready to go. So this is the first one. And it helps, especially, it helps me if I can get all of the blocks cut out and then I put them in this little plastic bin I have and they're separated. And then that way I can just grab it and, you know, start working on it. And then I finished this one this morning. And then I finished this one last night. So I love it. It's so pretty. And I can't wait to have all of the blocks finished. And my plan is when it's done, which hopefully will be like midsummer, it's going to hang here. So there will be this one, and then you'll see the Constitution quilt, and then hopefully it will be done and it will hang after the Constitution quilt comes down. This is what the Temecula album quilt looks like. Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. It's been so much fun to work on, and I'm gonna hopefully tonight, maybe tomorrow, I can get the other 2 blocks finished. And then I plan on starting on the Forevermore block of the month. I also am planning, and I've had a lot of people ask me this, when am I going to be starting on the Jane Austen quilt? And I do plan on getting started on that one very, very soon. Hopefully in my next video I will have, because I'm 2 months behind now on the Forevermore block of the month, and so hopefully I will have all of those done to show you next time. But I did finish the Temecula Secret Santa. It's called Secret Santa Sew Along. Of course, I call my quilt Ice-mageddon, but the quilt pattern itself is a free tutorial that is available on Temecula's blog. and I will put a link to the Secret Santa Sew Along quilt down below. But here it is. I think in my last video it was still in pieces, but here it is. So I got it finished on Friday, and I went to the quilt shop and I bought the backing for it, and then I was able to quilt it, I think Tuesday, and then I put the binding on it yesterday. But I love it. It turned out way better than I thought it was going to. I was a little bit worried about it. The backing fabric is by Kim Deal. I think it's called, from the Helping Hands line, I think that's what it was called. But I love it. It turned out way better than I thought, and I just love it. I think it turned out fantastic. I did a swirl motif on it, and now it is ready to be displayed around the house. Oh, I love it. It turned out so fantastic. Love it, love it, love it. There was one other quilt that I also did finish, and I forgot to grab it, so I will show that to you next time. So what I did is on Monday, I went up to Joann's and I bought backing fabric. So I had the backing fabric for that, and then I had 4 other quilts, and I picked up backing fabric for them. So I have 4 of my own quilts ready and waiting to be quilted. So hopefully I will have all of those to show you in my next video, because they're just all stacked up ready to go. And the other quilt that I finished is on the bottom, and I meant to grab it and bring it in and show it in this video, and I completely forgot. So I will make sure to show it next time, because hopefully it'll be quilted. I mean, I really am going to try to get them all quilted, because one of them has been waiting for 7 years to be quilted. So it's time. So anyway, as far as everything else, that's all I have to show for this video. I really do hope this video is gonna be okay. I felt very confident coming into this video and doing it. I was good to go. I had everything ready to go, and then I just sat down, and I don't know. Some videos are like that. Some videos go very, very well, and then others are a struggle, and it's a 2-hour. I think it would be so much better if I was the only one home. You know, if it was just me and Freddie, and it was only going to be me and Freddie for a couple of hours. I think I'd be so much easier. But you know, with everybody being here and knowing that I have clients coming, it messes with your brain, and that's all you can really think about. And so this video, it's going to be all pieced together, because there were parts of it I repeated, especially when I was showing what I was working on. I know I went, and it's just, yeah. If you could see on this side of the camera what happens, it's, thank goodness for editing technology. So, as far as everything goes, that is all I have to share for this video. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I appreciate it so much. I hope you have a wonderful 2 weeks. And if you want to see what I am up to in between my videos, you can follow me on Instagram. I am Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, or I have a Facebook page, and that is called Pumpkin Hollow Quilting. So, it is time for me to go to get this mess cleaned up, and to find out what the Fredster has been doing in the other room, because I think he got into something. Again, he's been shredding like crazy. Case in point, I had a quilt go home the other night, and the lady handed me my payment, and I went and I stuck it next to my sewing machine, because she was looking at the Secret Santa quilt, and we were talking about it, and I don't even know how he got past me, but somehow he got up on the chair, got up on the sewing machine, took her check, took it down to the floor, and shredded it. Yeah. That was so embarrassing. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I was embarrassed, but she thought it was funny, so that's okay. Yeah, I was horrified. Yes. So anyway, I guess now it is time for me to go. Fingers crossed this video is a-okay. And And I hope you guys have a great stitchy 2 weeks. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section down below, and I will do my best to answer them, or if you would rather, I can always answer them in my video, whichever. Otherwise, I will see you guys again in 2 weeks. Bye.